to learn second chapter, numbers and sequences. Already we have completed first 5 exercises we have completed. In that exercise we have learned about the numbers as well as sequence, the general definition, and the types of sequence. We have learned the arithmetic sequence, and you know very well how to identify whether the sequence is arithmetic or not arithmetic, and we have done some problems related that arithmetic sequence. Now we are going to introduce a new topic, the second type, that is geometric sequence. Okay, so what is meant by geometric sequence? For example, if a person affected by a disease, okay, he spreads that disease to 2 persons. For example, he spreads to 2 persons. This is first stage, one person affected by a viral disease, and the second stage, he spreads the disease to 2 persons, and next each person spreads the disease to 2. So like this going on. So first stage, one person affects by a viral disease. So second stage, 2 persons. Okay, and third stage, 4. If it is going on, and he spreads to 2, he spreads to like this. 4 into 2, we get 8. So if we arrange in a logical order, for example, first stage 1, second stage 2 persons, and third stage 4, and fourth stage 8, and so on. Okay, so it is a sequence. Now we are going to say this as a geometric sequence. And why we say that? Actually, each person spreads the virus disease to 2 persons. Here, that 2 is the constant. 2 is the constant. Right? So if we get, or if we know the second term, we should multiply it by that constant. For example, first person 1. If you want the second stage, it means second term, you want to multiply it by 2. So 1 into 2, we get 2. Okay. Then third stage, it means third term. If you want to multiply it by that constant into the previous term, so the second term is 2 into that constant. 2 into 2 we get 4. Okay. Next 4, this is the term. If you know the next term, you want to multiply by the same constant 2, you will get 8. Okay. If you know, or if you want the next term, you want to multiply by 2. Here, we should give the importance to that constant. So, the following terms obtained by multiplying that non-zero constant. Multiplying by a non-zero constant. Because if you multiply it by 0, you will get 0, you know that. That's why we say the term non-zero constant. That constant should not be equal to 0. Okay, I hope you understand this. This is the example for geometric sequence. Okay, so you know that this is first term, this is second term, this is third term, fourth term, and so on. And how the second term, third term, fourth term obtained, you know that by multiplying the constant, non-zero constant. So first term is denoted by small letter a, and how the second term obtained, it means by multiplying the constant. That constant we take as R. It means common ratio. That non-zero constant is called the common ratio R. So if you want the second term, I told you by multiplying that non-zero constant. So first term is A. So second term should be A previous term into that constant A into R. Next, the third term obtained by a multiplying the non-zero constant to the previous term. This is term 1, this is term 2. If you want term 3, this A into R, AR into that non-zero constant. And next one, if you multiply this and this, what do we get? AR square into R, and so on. Okay, so what do we get? Term 1 is equal to a. Okay, here you can take a into r naught, r power 0, because anything power 0 is 1, we know that. I am going to derive the nth term of this geometric sequence. You know very well what is mean by nth term. In arithmetic sequence you have learned clearly about nth term. If you know the nth term, you can find the 15th term, 19th term, like that you can find. So that we derived that nth term formula. Okay, so if you want to derive that nth term formula, you can take this as t1 equal to a into r power 0. Okay, so next t2. What is t2? This is t1 into that non-zero constant r. I took the non-zero constant b r. So t1 into r. What is t1? A into r power 0. A into r power 0 is 1. So that we get a. Okay, right. So t1, instead of t1 I replace a into r. So what is the second term? ar. Similarly, term 3 is equal to second term into that common ratio r. Okay, what is term 2? ar into r. What do we get? ar square. Okay, right. So what is t4? Similarly, t4 can be written as ar power 3. t5 can be written as ar power 4. Okay, so what is tn? Tn can be obtained by multiplying a common ratio with the previous term. What is the previous term of n? You know that n minus 3, n minus 2 and so on. Here and n minus 1, this is n, next n plus 1 and so on. See, this is the required term n and its previous term is n minus 1. Okay, so previous term is tn minus 1 into that common ratio r. Okay, so what is tn minus 1? t4 can be written as ar power 3, t5 can be written as ar power 4, like tn minus 1 can be written as ar power its previous term is n minus 2. So ar power n minus 2 into r. Okay, here bases are same and we multiply, so we can add their powers. R power n minus 2, here r power 1. Okay, if you add their powers, what do we get? A into r power n minus 2 plus 1. Okay, right. So if you simplify, ar power minus 2 plus 1 leaves minus 1. So n minus 1. What is it? It is tn. Okay, so tn means the nth term of geometric sequence. Generally we say, or we call this as GP. It shows or it stands for geometric progression. Okay, I hope you all understand this. In geometric progression, first term is a, second term is ar, third term ar square, fourth term ar power 3 and so on. The nth term or the general term of the geometric progression is ar power n minus 1. Okay, and that the common ratio is also known as non-zero constant. Non-zero constant, you know very well. And how can we find the common ratio? Look here, ar, this is a. And this is ar square, this is ar. See, if you divide the first term, if you divide the second term by the first term, if you divide the second term by the first term, you can get that common ratio. Look, this ar, okay, divided by a. What do we get? A will be cancelled, we get r. Similarly, third term by second term. So ar square by ar. A will be cancelled, this one time cancelled, it remains 2. Okay, so if you find like this, you can get the common ratio r in each successive terms. Understand? So that's why, how do we find the common ratio? Means it is obtained by dividing the second term by first term. Okay, so common ratio r is equal to term 2 divided by term 1. It is very important while solving the problem. very often we want to find the common ratio, and how do we find, you know, that common ratio R is equal to term 2 divided by term 1. Okay, and the general term of geometric sequence is a r power n minus 1. Okay, so in next class we will solve problems related on this geometric sequence.
Good morning to all. Welcome to Max Online Classes. Today we are going to solving problems related on GP, and previous class we have learned the basic definitions and formula for GP, and common ratio you have learned, and general term of the GP. You know that Tn, which is equal to a r power n minus 1, that you have learned clearly. It is used to solving problems. Now exercise 2.7, first question, we are going to verify the given sequence is GP or not a GP. Okay, so the first question 3, 9, 27, 81 and so on. Okay, you know that this is the first term, this is second term, third term, fourth term and so on, and you can find the nth term of this GP also, right? Before going to identify whether the sequence is GP or not, if their ratios are same, ratios in the sense I am going to take the ratio of first and second term be R1, and ratio of second term and third term is R2, and third and fourth means R3, like that. If R1 is equal to R2 is equal to R3, which is equal to the common ratio, means we can say the given sequence is a GP. Understand? Let's do the problem. Solution. First term of this sequence is 3, and now I am going to check the common ratios. So first R1, this is the ratio of term 2 and term 1. You know that how to write it, T2 divided by T1. Okay, it is fraction form. So term 2 is 9 divided by term 1 is 3. If you cancel, you can get 1 time, 3 time. So what do we get? R1 is equal to 3. Okay, similarly one more ratio, second one, R2, term 3 divided by term 2, 27 divided by 9, 1 time, 3 time. So what do we get? R2 is also 3. So we can conclude it, R1 is equal to R2 is equal to 3. Do we need to find the third one? If necessary you can find, otherwise no need. If R1 is equal to R2 means R3 is also 3. Okay, so that we can say their common ratios are same. Therefore the given sequence is GP. Okay, next question, question number 1, second subdivision, whether the sequence is GP or not. So first A is equal to 4, and here also we are going to find R1. R1 is equal to term 2 divided by term 1. So 44 by 4, what do we get? 1 times, 11 times. Next R2. R2 is equal to term 3 divided by term 2. So what is term 3? 444 divided by 44. What do we get? If you cancel by 4 table, you will get 111 by 11. We cannot simplify it. Okay, so that you can conclude it here, R1 which is not equal to R2, R1 which is not equal to R2. Therefore the ratios are not equal. Ratios are not equal. Therefore the given sequence is not GP. If you want, you can find one more ratio. Okay, question number 1, third subdivision. So here A is equal to 0.5 R1 here the values are given in decimal form. Better you can convert into fraction form. You know that this 0.5 can be written as 5 by 10 or 1 by 2. Okay, so like this 0.05 can be written as 5 by 100. After the decimal 2 digits we have, so that we divided by 100, so 5 by 100. So R1 is equal to term 2 divided by term 1. So here numerator have a fraction, denominator also have a fraction. If you divide a fraction by a fraction, you can write it as a reciprocal form. Okay, after changing the sign you have to write in reciprocal form. So for example, this 0.05 can be written as 5 by 100. Okay, this T1 you want to write denominator in denominator. So instead of that I am going to change that and write in reciprocal. Reciprocal of 5 by 10 is 10 by 5. Okay, now you can cancel them. So what do we get? 1 by 10. So R1 is equal to 1 by 10 or 0.1. Okay, so similarly R2 is equal to term 3 divided by term 2. What is term 3? 0.005. It can be written as 5 by 1000 into the denominator term 2 0.05 can be written as 100 by 5. If you cancel them you can get 1 by 10. So R2 is also 1 by 10. So that their ratios are same or ratios are equal. Therefore the given sequence is GP. Okay, next fourth subdivision. Here the given values are in fraction form. Okay, so first one A is equal to 1 by 3. So that first we have to find R1. R1 is equal to term 2 divided by term 1. Already I told you, if fraction we have numerator and denominator, means we can write it in a reciprocal form. So that first T2 divided by T1. Here T2 is a fraction, T1 is also a fraction. So better we write in reciprocal form. First T2 1 by 6 into the reciprocal of 1 by 3 is 3 by 1 or 3. So simplify them, 1 time, 2 time. So what do we get? 1 by 2. So R1 is equal to 1 by 2. Similarly R2 is equal to term 3 divided by term 2. What is term 2? That is 1 by 12 into reciprocal of 1 by 6 is 6 by 1. So 1 time, 2 time. So we'll get 1 by 2. So here R1 is equal to R2 is equal to 1 by 2. It means, it shows the ratios are same. The ratios are same or equal. Therefore, the given sequence is GP. Question number 1, remaining 3 subdivisions. It means 5th one, 6th one and 7th one are homework. Now we are going to do question number 2, first subdivision. Here they are asking to find the first 3 terms of the GP. Term 1, term 2 and term 3. Term 1 is first term, you know that is A is given clearly. A is equal to 6 and the given sequence is GP. So that the common ratio R is given by 3. Okay. So if you want to find term 2, term 3 and term 4, term 1, term 2 and term 3 only they asked. So T2, what is the T2? T2 can be written as AR power 1, it means AR, and term 3 is equal to AR power 2. Actually we get this from the nth term, Tn equal to AR power n minus 1. This formula we applied here. T2 equal to AR power, what is n? N replaced by 2, 2 minus 1 gives 1. So a r power 1, and t3 is equal to a r power 3 minus 1 gives 2. Okay. So first t2 is equal to a r power 1. It means a r. So what is a? 6 into 3. So what do we get? 6 into 3, 18. Next term 3, which is equal to a r power 2. So what is a? 6. R power 2. R is equal to 3 square. Okay. So 6 into 3 square 9. So 6 into 9, 54. Okay. So the required terms, it means t1 is equal to a is equal to 6, and t2 which is equal to 18, and t3 is equal to 54. This is the required answer. So next a is equal to root 2 and r is also root 2. Okay. So similarly t2 is equal to ar. T2 is equal to ar. What is a? Root 2, and r is also root 2. You know how to multiply them? Root 2 into root 2 is equal to 2. How it comes? Root 2 into root 2 can be written as root 2 the whole square. See, if you remove that root, it means square root. So you want to write 1 by 2 in that power. For example, square root of 2. So if you remove that square root symbol, you want to write 1 by 2 on the power, and whole square here. Applying powers law. So 2 power 1 by 2 into 2. They will be cancelled. So what do we get? 2. Okay. So root 2 into root 2 is equal to 2. Next term 3 is equal to a r square. So what is a? A is equal to root 2, and r is root 2. We know that root 2 square is equal to 2. So that root 2 into 2, it can be written as 2 root 2. Okay. So t1 is equal to root 2, t2 is equal to 2, and t3, it means term 3 is equal to 2 root 2. This is the required answer. Next, the third subdivision. Here given a is equal to 1000 and the common ratio r is equal to 2 by 5. So first term, you know that t1 is equal to a is equal to 1000. Okay. And term 2 is equal to a r power 1 or r, you can write it, and r is equal to 2 by 5. Okay. So what is a? 1000 into r 2 by 5. Cancel them. We'll get 200 into 2. What do we get? 400. This is term 2. Next term 3 is equal to a r power 2. A r power 2. What is a? 1000 into 2 by 5 whole square. 2 by 5 whole square. The expansion of 2 by 5 whole square is, you know that 1000 into 4 by 25. 4 by 25. So if you cancel this, how many times? 4 times, 40 times. 40 into 4, 160. So t1 is equal to 1000, t2 is equal to 400, and term 3 which is equal to 160. I hope you all understand the first two sums. Then next class we will solve the next problems in exercise 2.7. Thank you.